What is happening, everyone? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Headed to the gym. It's 5:40 in the morning, getting ready to teach morning class. I forgot to take a vlog video yesterday, or a week intro video. So I'm doing it on Tuesday. Today's no-gi day. Still, this week at least, planning on doing more open guard, right? So in class, I'm teaching single leg X this week, and I'm going to Vegas on Wednesday, so I'm not going to have that much footage for this week, unfortunately. But I have still been practicing open guard, mostly Delahiva, single leg X, X guard, some reverse Delahiva. In the gi, I'm using a lot of lasso. I'm just trying to make it an intermediate, or like a stopping point guard, right? As people are trying to pass, I need to be able to use my lasso to prevent the pass and recover guard, right? That's what lasso is mainly used for. There aren't a ton of submissions from lasso specifically. And personally, it hurts my fingers. Any of the grip heavy games in gi hurt my fingers. Life of a gi jiu-jitsu practitioner, I guess. But I'm going to keep working on open guard and ankle locks. So I haven't actually been having that much success with ankle locks. It's kind of annoying. But people are savvy to them. We don't have that many leg lockers in our gym, but we've got a few. And the few that we do have are freaking good at leg locks. So holy crap, that motorcycle was loud, dude. He's at like 15,000 RPMs for no reason at all. He's going 40 miles an hour. Anyways, yeah, open guard. So this is my intro, guys. I'm gonna show you some of the footage I have from this week. I'll probably have this edited in a week or two. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying the new vlog format. This should be the third one, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you are seeing, any critiques you have, any feedback, and let's just jump right into the rolling footage, guys. Let's roll.
Here goes the first round with Kevin. He's a pretty new white belt. He's literally probably a week in, but he's been doing judo for a few years. So as you can see, I'm playing some open guard with some modified spider, using my feet on the hips to keep distance. And Kevin's making a mistake. He's just trying to yank his hand back as I've got that sleeve grip, but I eventually just let go to chase the baby bolo on the back here. I grab his belt, hoping to use that to spin around his leg and get my right foot behind his butt and use that to take his back. But he's doing a good job of squaring up to me, and I'm not fighting super hard considering he's relatively new. So I reset back to my sleeve grip and my feet on the hips, back to a modified spider guard. You can see I'm using my right foot to hook his leg, and then I scoop my left foot under, using the butterfly hooks to bring him over me, immediately pulling myself into that single leg X position where I start attacking that ankle lock. This is the move of the day. I showed this earlier, and you can see that I use my right knee to drive towards the mat, and my left foot staples his leg so that when he bellies down, I keep the foot and I'm able to stop the turn and just finish him nice and slow with a lot of control there. So we're back in open guard, using my sleeve grip to drive my left leg across, the Delahiva hook across, and hopefully set up an X guard. Now I reach for that sleeve, he stands up and pulls it back, so I start going to his collar sleeve, always keeping tension with my feet on his hips. He leans a little bit too far towards his butt, and I'm able to just push him over with my right leg coming up on top. Now we're back in open guard. I'm going to get my grips, set up a collar sleeve guard, looking to create tension with my legs on his hips, right? I have my upper body control with the collar and the sleeve grip, and then my feet create tension on his hips. I'm able to keep control of his right leg with my left hand and hook his foot to go for a tripod sweep, but I'm not scrambling it up on top super hard. I'm just trying to work my open guard. So I let him come back up and immediately get into an X guard. He does a good job of stuffing my right foot towards my butt and backstepping, preventing me from using that X guard to tripod sweep him or set up my technical stand-up. But I reset back into the butterfly guard, looking to set up a X choke, but the time runs out. Now I'm rolling with Mark, and Mark is really strong. He's tight on bottom. So I'm trying to get chest-to-chest position here. I thought I'd show you some of my passing. I know that I've been working leg locks, and I haven't shown that many of those. So as I'm here, you can see me trying to flatten him with that left-hand crossface on his chin. But he's staying turned, and I opt for a back step, immediately looking for that knee bar. I get it pretty tight. I'm on his knee, using my feet to push off his hips. I'm not letting him turn his foot, which would allow him to escape the knee bar. And I kind of loosen up here, looking for a shotgun grip, but he turns his knee well and escapes the knee bar. Then he opts to attack his own leg lock here, going for the straight ankle lock, and Mark's really, really tight. He's got those Popeye forearms, so I'm immediately grabbing the collar, looking to come up and just start passing from this position here. He's in his single leg X. I sit back to my butt, looking to slide that butterfly hook in between his thighs so I can attack his back. He's selling out for that ankle lock, and it's not deep enough because he doesn't have any really pressure on my hips to finish the submission. So he comes up. Now I'm playing open guard again, and I'm looking to keep distance between us. I don't want him to get to headquarters. I don't want him to curl my chest towards his chest. So I'm trying to create tension, keep him farther away with my left knee, using it as a frame to push off his hip or his chest. And I'm grabbing his collar to load him over the top. Now right here, just keeping him off balance, trying to bring him over my head, not really putting a lot of effort into a balloon sweep, but just enough to keep him off balance and use his hands for posts. Resetting here, back in the open guard, we were bumping up against the wall. So slap bump, feet on the hips, looking to set up a good open guard. I grabbed the pant grip. I've been using that grip a lot lately on my right hand just to avoid my opponents kicking out from the ankle grip. And right here, I get a little baby tripod sweep, but I don't have any upper body control, which means I can't beat him to the punch and get on top first. He drops his weight, getting onto his knees, driving into me, but he really doesn't give himself any posts and allows me to just tip him over nice and easy. Now we're rolling with AJ, who happens to be a police officer, and I'm looking to work my open guard. AJ immediately drops to his knees, not wanting to get elevated or swept easily. So I've got that right hand sleeve grip, and I'm trying to get a foot on his hip to create pressure and start entering into some of my open guards. My left leg comes across his bicep, going for the lasso guard, and I've been playing that a little bit more lately, trying to use it as a preventative measure to stop guard passes. AJ does a good job of yanking that hand out and putting it behind my thigh, and I then with my free left hand go to the collar sleeve and start working that guard a little bit more here. AJ tries to hop or long step over my bottom leg, which does work a little bit. I'm able to use my right knee to stay between us and recover my butterfly guard here. AJ's got pretty decent passing and is doing a good job of forcing me to react and go side to side, but he leans his weight too far to his right, and I'm able to just tip him over using the scissor, like a basic scissor sweep here. Now we're in X guard. I'm really just trying to maintain my base. I don't want to get swept. I swept him. I don't want to give those points back. So staying on top here, looking to pull my leg back and get my foot behind my knee so that I can start working to get chest to chest. Now, as I stand here, AJ's single leg X. He doesn't have his left foot on my hip, which allows me to start driving my hips down, getting my chest lower, and creating a lot of pressure. He's using that collar grip to pull myself closer to him. As his feet unlock, I step over, looking for a little bit of a long step, and really just trying to create pressure here. You can see me cupping that bottom knee, preventing him from recovering guard, and my right hand is posting on his hip, preventing him from turning towards me. Right here, I've been working on my back takes. That was the last thing I worked on. So as he exposes himself towards me with his chest, I'm able to switch sides and look for the back take. Now we're back in open guard, looking to set up a butterfly guard. I'm trying to grab his belt. It allows me to pull him a lot easier. It's a very difficult grip to break, and I try to use it to elevate him, but he's keeping his weight back, his hips low, and kind of prevents me from doing so. So I go to the lasso guard, again, looking to just practice some of those open guards that I don't usually play. But as I said, my grips kind of hurt, so it's not like my best game. Now right here, I start setting up an omoplata, and as he rolls, I stay with the omoplata and look to switch back to the other side. So he's trying to pull his arm out, and I just keep chaining that attack together. As we're here, I'm in the omoplata position, and he straightens his arm for me, which allows me to actually set up a little bit of a belly down armbar here, getting the tap. So here's a roll with Garrett. He's a brown belt. He's been a brown belt longer than I have, so we're both relatively seasoned brown belts. And I know I haven't had very many rounds with upper belts, so I want to include more of those as, you know, upper belts come into the morning class. But in this situation, when I'm rolling against another skilled brown belt or upper belt, I can't really choose where to put the round. I can't really opt to play open guard or closed guard or half guard. I kind of have to just let the round take me where it takes me, especially when they're bigger than me, right? So I'm just avoiding getting past here. He's trying to crush my knees together. He's creating a lot of pressure with his head and chest on my hips, and I'm just trying to kind of set up a loop choke here. I've got a cross grip with my left hand, and as I heist getting up onto my elbow, I want to use that to try and either throw my arm in for the loop choke or just recover my guard in this situation. Now you can see my right knee pummeling over his shoulder. If I can get my foot free, I triangle him, but he's doing a good job. He's actually holding my foot there, and he's driving his elbow over my knee. That's what he's working for. He's also trying to use it to set up a over-under pass, and I'm able to recover, getting back to close guard, trying to prevent him from controlling one of my sleeves and standing up. Now, I'm trying to cut an angle using my right foot on his hip to attack that shoulder. It's one of my best submissions from close guard because it doesn't involve getting stacked here, and Garrett's really flexible. He ends up standing, and his head is almost touching his feet here. As he drives forward, he actually stacks me a little bit. I was going to try and backwards roll and sweep him, but there's a little bit too much pressure, and I end up just extending with my hips, trying to get back to close guard so I don't put too much pressure on my back or neck. We're fighting in close guard. I decided I want to show you, by the way, the entire round, since there aren't that many examples of me rolling with upper belts. So hopefully you don't mind here, but we're just grip fighting in close guard. I'm trying to isolate that right arm of his, turn his elbow out and his wrist down to start setting up my omoplata. Now I start to set it up here, reaching for his hip to try and prevent him from rolling, and Garrett's doing a great job of getting his knee on my hip, preventing me from attacking. He just postures up out of the omoplata, and you could see I grabbed his left sleeve under his leg, using kind of a sit-up guard style of position here. He's trying to drive my hips to the left, which would prevent me from sweeping him, so I use that motion to try and tip him over my head. He then reverts back to the left side, or my right side, and he's threatening a knee cut, but I still have the left arm underhook on his leg and that sleeve grip. So my goal now is to stand up and fight a single leg. So as I stand up, using that sleeve grip, I'm able to just dump him on his butt, keeping the grip and hopefully using that to pass as I control his legs here. And Garrett, like I said, very flexible. His guard is difficult to pass. I just don't want him to control my upper body at all, because once he gets to spider guard, it really prevents me from using my hips or backing out of his guards, right? He sucks me in, and because his legs are so long, it makes it difficult for me to stay standing. He just elevates me over his head. Now right here, you'll kind of see he uses that right leg on my bicep to bring me over his chest or his shoulder, and threatens that sweep very effortlessly. So what I should be doing is I should be trying to break those grips, but he ends up coming up, and I really just don't want him to settle the sweep. I don't want to give up any points. So fighting that hand off my foot, I scramble, looking to set up an arm in guillotine, which is relatively close, but he pops his head out, and now we're back in open guard or single leg X guard here. And my next goal is to look for a sweep, right? So trying to prevent the guard pass. Garrett's creating a lot of pressure with his chest, really threatening my half guard and forcing me into a position where I have to accept the weight of his body, which I don't like. I'm looking to use that sleeve grip and that collar grip to set up a potential scissor sweep, or just recover my close guard and bring my bottom knee out. Garrett's doing a good job of stuffing my leg. He's preventing me from getting to close guard here, and he's going to stand up and threaten some dynamic passing, but the time is up and the round is over. There you have it, guys. Another week of open guard. I'm still feeling a little bit beat up after the rear ending. My back's still a little sore, but it is getting better. I'm not inverting at all, but open guard, I'm going to keep working on it. You saw a couple leg locks sprinkled in there. Let me know. Please let me know in the comments. Do you want the full rounds, or do you just want the clips of me working on the things I'm saying I'm working on? I might go back to the full rounds, honestly. Just tell me your feedback. Don't forget, subscribe. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. As always, stay consistent. Go train.